Imagine you're deep in a remote forest, the kind where the trees stretch so high they seem to touch the sky. The sunlight barely filters through the thick canopy, casting an eerie twilight over everything. It's unnervingly quiet, almost too quiet, when suddenly, something breaks the silence. A sound, low and strange, that doesn't quite make sense. It lingers in the air, leaving you with a sense of unease you can't shake off. Bruce Kazir, a seasoned wildlife videographer, found himself in just such a place. His destination? The Sunshine Coast in Canada, a region that's become infamous for Bigfoot sightings. Bruce wasn't just wandering here for a vacation. No, he had heard whispers of something truly extraordinary from a local person who claimed to have crossed paths with none other than Sasquatch. If you heard that, wouldn't you be fascinated? Wouldn't you want to dive into the mystery? Bruce sure was. He set out on an investigation, hoping to capture something that would challenge everything we think we know about the world of cryptids. The first encounter, a glimpse of the unknown. Bruce was out hiking with his family, enjoying a peaceful afternoon. The sun hung high, the skies were clear, everything seemed perfect, except something felt off. A strange noise.
Researchers who take Bigfoot seriously don't take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact, they're often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit, we take a look too.
It echoed through the trees, cutting through the quiet. Not the usual sounds of wildlife. This was different. Do you ever feel like something's watching you? Bruce did. The hairs on the back of his neck prickled. His instincts kicked in, and without hesitation, he grabbed his camera. He started recording, hoping to capture whatever it was. The daylight worked against him. The footage was grainy, fuzzy, nothing clear, but he kept filming. Later, back at home, Bruce watched the video. At first, it seemed like just shadows, nothing more. But then, something caught his eye. A figure, dark, crouched behind a tree. It wasn't a bear, or any animal he knew. No, this was something else, something unnatural. You see it, don't you? That shape, the way it moves, too smooth, too deliberate, almost human, but not quite. Could it be Sasquatch? Bruce wasn't sure, but one thing was undeniable. He had just seen something elusive, something strange. The mystery had just deepened, and he was hooked. The compelling Bigfoot photo, close-up and personal. Fast forward to December 26, 2024. A new piece of photographic evidence emerges. A close-up shot of what appears to be a Bigfoot-like creature hunched over in a field. The brush is thick, and the figure is partially obscured by the vegetation. But if you look closely, really closely, you can make out something extraordinary. A close-up shot captured what appears to be a creature, hunched over, moving through a field. The thick brush around it nearly hides the creature entirely. But if you squint and focus, you might just be able to see it. There's no mistaking it. Those broad shoulders, especially the left one, look far too powerful to be anything human. The muscles beneath its fur are clearly defined, like the body of something built for raw strength. The fur is tightly pressed against the skin, revealing a body that seems not only large but incredibly well built. This isn't the kind of loose, shaggy costume you'd expect from a man in a Bigfoot suit. No, this looks different. This looks real. Now, many people might jump to conclusions and shout, "It's a costume." They've been around for decades after all. But seriously, look closer. Have you ever seen a Bigfoot costume with this level of detail? The texture of the fur, the muscle definition, these aren't the hallmarks of a man-made suit. The more you study the image, the more difficult it becomes to dismiss. Experts and analysts in the cryptid world are all weighing in, speculating that this could, just maybe, be the real deal. But despite their excitement, no one's rushing to confirm its authenticity. It's compelling, sure, but the mystery remains unsolved for now. A mysterious encounter in Arkansas. April 6, 2024. The solar eclipse was just around the corner. Two friends, eager for the celestial event, decided to spend the night at an Airbnb in Mountain View, Arkansas. They were stargazing, looking forward to the rare moment when day would briefly turn to night. But then, something strange began to happen. At first, it was barely noticeable, a faint tremor underfoot, like the ground itself was alive. Then came the sound. Heavy footsteps, slow, deliberate. They seemed to echo from the woods around them. At first it was distant, almost like a rumble in the earth, but with every passing second, it grew louder, closer. The friends looked at each other, confused. There was no movement, nothing in sight, but that sound, it was unmistakable. The footsteps weren't the typical noises of wildlife. No, this was something else, something larger, something more deliberate, and it was getting closer. They strained their eyes into the darkness, but saw nothing. That's when the camera caught something they hadn't noticed, not with their eyes at least. As the footage played back, they enhanced it by just 2%. And then, there it was, a long dark arm reaching out from behind a tree. The hand, massive with thick strands of hair hanging down. The shape was unmistakable. It wasn't human. It wasn't a bear. It was something else entirely. Could it be Bigfoot? Was it drawn to the eclipse? Or was this just the perfect moment for something unexplainable to make its appearance? The eclipse, the energy in the air, it felt like the kind of event that could draw out the unknown. Could this creature have been watching them, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself? The mystery deepens with every question left unanswered. The mystery deepens. The bear or Bigfoot debate. A local resident, fascinated by strange happenings in the area, submits a photograph to experts. The image was taken near a museum in a region well known for Bigfoot sightings. The picture shows a large, dark figure partially obscured by trees and foliage. But what is it? A bear or Bigfoot? At first glance, it seems like a bear. Its shape and size could easily be mistaken for one. But the more experts analyze the photo, the more unusual details start to surface. Something doesn't quite add up. The dogs in the foreground, 2 Rottweilers, are staring directly at the figure, but they're eerily calm. Now think about it. Rottweilers are known for being protective, especially around unfamiliar creatures. They'd typically be on high alert if something like a bear were nearby. But here, they're just standing there, unbothered, as if the figure doesn't pose any threat at all. It's almost as if they don't recognize it as a threat, or maybe they don't recognize it at all. This calmness is what makes the photograph even more puzzling. Could the creature be something entirely different? Something so foreign to these dogs that they simply don't know how to react? Could this be a creature that isn't a bear, but something even more elusive? Perhaps something like Bigfoot? It raises new questions that demand answers. What kind of creature could approach so close and remain undetected by the animals around it? And why wouldn't the dogs react to it like they would to any other predator? Could this mysterious figure be something we've yet to understand fully? The more you look at the photo, the less it seems to fit any known creature. The Cumberland County footprints, evidence in snow. In Cumberland County, North Carolina, a discovery was made that would leave many questioning what we think we know about the natural world. A man, having just purchased some land, set out to explore his new property. What he stumbled upon was nothing short of shocking, a set of footprints in the fresh snow. But these weren't just any footprints. These were enormous, 7 feet wide and 14 feet long, far too large to belong to any human. At first glance, the size alone would be enough to raise suspicion. But it wasn't just the sheer scale of the prints that caught his attention. It was their shape. The prints had a distinct bend in the middle, something that simply didn't fit with any known animal. The shape of the foot was all wrong for a bear, and no known predator in the area could explain these massive tracks. As word of the discovery spread, cryptozoologists and experts in the field of Bigfoot studies took a keen interest. Some have speculated that these may be the tracks of a juvenile Bigfoot, a younger member of the species, perhaps just beginning to roam in the wilderness. But what truly sets this discovery apart is that these footprints were not isolated. No, they seem to be part of a larger pattern that has been developing over the years in this very region. Local residents have reported strange occurrences for years, growling, howling, and heavy footsteps echoing through the woods. The briefest of glimpses, fleeting shadows of large ape-like figures, vanishing before anyone can get a clear look. This area has long been a hotbed for these types of strange encounters. The Appalachian Mountains, Pisgah National Forest, and Uvari National Forest have all been known for their eerie, unexplained sightings. Could these footprints be a sign that Bigfoot, or something like it, is using this area as its home? The idea that this may be the track of a juvenile suggests that these creatures might not just be passing through, they might actually be living here, hiding in plain sight. What's most chilling about this discovery is the consistency of the reports. Over the years, cryptozoologists have tracked a steady stream of sightings and encounters in this area, creating a pattern too compelling to ignore. Whether it's the massive footprints left in the snow, the eerie growls echoing through the night, or the brief glimpses of creatures that seem to disappear before they can be identified, it's clear that something out there is leaving its mark. And as strange as it sounds, these footprints may be the clearest evidence yet. Evidence that something big, is roaming these forests, hiding in the wilderness, and perhaps, just maybe, it's been here all along. What's really out there in the wilds of North Carolina? Northern Illinois, a stone throws its way into the mystery. In the summer of 2011, in the forest between Rockford and Chicago, a young boy ventured out on a camping trip in Northern Illinois. A typical camping trip at first glance, gathering sticks for a campfire. But what he unknowingly captured on camera would soon become one of the most perplexing and widely discussed pieces of Bigfoot evidence to date. While the boy was focused on his task, something unusual happened. Out of nowhere, a stone flew through the air and struck the ground near him. But not directly. It wasn't a rock falling from a tree or something kicked up by the wind. It was deliberate. It came from a specific direction. The boy's heart raced and his senses sharpened. But what could it be? A simple prank? A trick of the mind? Then again, stones don't just fly through the air on their own, especially not in the way this one did. The force was unusual, as if the stone had been thrown with intent. But who would be out here, in the middle of nowhere, trying to get his attention? And why? That was only the beginning. As the boy focused on the source of the disturbance, something else caught his eye. A creature, large, dark, and partially hidden in the shadows. It wasn't clearly visible, but there was no mistaking its presence. The way it moved. It was walking with a strange, deliberate rhythm, each step methodical and calculated. It didn't seem like a regular animal moving through the woods. This creature was different. The figure glided through the trees, its movements unnervingly human-like. Not the usual gait of a bear or deer, but something that walked like a person. Its posture was upright, and there was a peculiar fluidity to its motion. As it drew closer to a tree, it paused, and in that brief moment, it seemed to look directly at the camera, locking eyes with the lens for just a split second before disappearing into the shadows. The boy had been startled by the stone. Was this just an unfortunate mistake? Something that could easily be explained away with a bit of rational thinking? Or was it something far more extraordinary? Could this be Bigfoot, testing his reaction, seeing if he would flee? Was it trying to engage with him, or was it simply observing from the safety of the woods? Some speculate that this stone-throwing behavior is common among primates in the wild, used as a way to test the environment or to intimidate prey. But could it be a hunting tactic employed by something much larger and more intelligent? This creature might be studying the boy, waiting for the perfect moment to approach. Who knows? What's more perplexing is the creature's gaze, the brief but undeniable moment where it locked eyes with the camera. It wasn't a random glance. It felt intentional and deliberate, as if the creature knew exactly what it was doing. It could have easily continued on its way, but instead, it stopped and looked. This isn't a simple misunderstanding or a trick of the camera. The footage suggests that something far more intelligent, more methodical, was watching him. What was this creature? And why did it choose to reveal itself to the boy in such a strange, unsettling way? The stone thrown was only the first clue. What followed is far harder to explain away. Something is out there in the woods of northern Illinois, and after this chilling encounter, the question isn't just what is it? A dark, mysterious figure in Florida. Deep in the swamps of southeastern Florida, in one of the most remote and murky regions of the U.S., a security camera recorded something that would leave everyone questioning everything they thought they knew about cryptids. The footage, captured at night, shows a large, dark, hairy figure moving through the dense underbrush, too large to be just a shadow, too deliberate to be an animal passing by. It's unmistakable, and its presence in the footage is both chilling and captivating. As the creature moves through the foliage, its massive form is partially obscured by the thick vegetation, but the flash from the camera catches a chilling detail: the gleam of its eyes. The gleam isn't just a trick of the light. It's a sign that this creature is not just wandering around in the dark. It's probably adapted to the night. The glow of the eyes hints at something more, perhaps a nocturnal creature, a species built to thrive in the darkness. And the longer you watch, the more you begin to wonder, could this be a skunk ape? The skunk ape is a cryptid that has been reported for years across the swamplands of the southeastern U.S. Often described as a Bigfoot variant, the skunk ape is known for its terrifying size and its pungent odor, which gives it its name. Sightings of the skunk ape are rare, and it's thought to inhabit areas so remote that few humans have ventured there. It's the kind of place where strange things happen, and where the unknown still holds sway over the land. But there's something unique about this particular footage that sets it apart from the many other blurry, shaky sightings. For one, the creature's shaggy fur is distinct. Its coat appears to be a dark brown or black, the kind of dense, matted fur often described in Bigfoot encounters across the country. But the texture is different. more tangled, more wild. It's not the kind of fur you'd expect to see on a person in a costume. No, this looks like it belongs to something that's truly wild, something that's part of the natural world. But unlike anything we've documented, the eyes, too, are something else. That gleaming reflection in the night. They're not just catching the flash of the camera, they're revealing something primal, something unearthly. They're not the dull, listless eyes of a bear or a man in a suit. No, these eyes are alive, full of purpose, watching, waiting. They give off a sense of intelligence, an awareness that sends a shiver down your spine. It's not a trick of the light, it's something watching back. Could this be the elusive skunk ape, long thought to roam the Florida swamps? Or is there something else at play here? The evidence is compelling. It doesn't fit the patterns of known animals, and it doesn't appear to be a hoax. The way the creature moves, its presence, the way the camera captures it, there's an air of authenticity to it that's hard to deny. One thing is certain, the skunk ape, if that's what it is, remains up in the air. And the Florida swamps, they're still hiding secrets that we may never fully uncover. The thermal imaging breakthrough. Now, here's something that might just blow your mind. Thinker Thunker, a renowned cryptid researcher, takes a deep dive into footage from a thermal imaging camera, a FLIR, forward-looking infrared, camera. What he uncovers is nothing short of astonishing, and is something that simply could not be ignored. The creature captured in the thermal footage is like nothing ever seen before. Its physical proportions are so distinct, so utterly different from any known animal or human, that it immediately challenges everything we've come to accept as normal. The creature's torso is massive, much larger than its legs, which is completely unnatural for humans or any known animal. But it's not just the size that's bizarre, it's the creature's movement. Thinker Thunker dives into the footage and observes with sharp eyes. The creature doesn't walk like anything we recognize. Its gait is off. There's a deliberate, almost methodical swing of its legs, as though each step is carefully calculated. It's not a fluid motion you'd expect from a regular animal. It's different. It's alien. The creature moves with a unique stance, its body twisting in ways that don't seem to belong to any earthly creature. The raw thermal footage, something that doesn't lie, offers cold, hard evidence. Unlike other types of footage that can be faked or distorted, thermal imaging captures heat signatures in the purest form. It doesn't matter if it's night or day, if the creature is hiding in the shadows or out in the open. If something is out there giving off heat, the FLIR camera will pick it up. And what Thinker Thunker is looking at is undeniably a creature, alive, moving, real. After analyzing the footage in painstaking detail, Thinker Thunker is convinced what he's seeing is a real creature that has never been captured on camera before. The proof is staring right back at him. The heat signature matches a living being, but one that doesn't align with any known species. And yet, despite the evidence laid bare before them, skeptics continue to raise doubts. They question the authenticity of the footage, suggesting it could be a misreading or some other anomaly. But Thinker Thunker has examined it from every angle, considering every possible explanation, and he's standing firm on his findings. The creature in the footage isn't a hoax. It's not an illusion. It's something real, captured in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Could this truly be something like Bigfoot, a creature thought to be a myth, captured in the dead of night through nothing more than thermal heat? The implications are staggering. With every new breakthrough like this, the lines between the known world and the unknown seem to blur even further. The final encounter, an enormous presence. Imagine walking through the woods, minding your own business, when you hear something, a noise, a movement. You turn, and standing in front of you is something massive, something that doesn't belong in the forest. A man, out in the wilderness, encounters a towering figure. It's dark, but the creature's sheer size is undeniable, at least 9 feet tall. The creature notices the man and pauses, perhaps considering whether to continue or retreat. It's only when the man begins to get closer that the creature decides to disappear back into the dense foliage, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. This footage has sent shockwaves through the cryptid community. The creature's size and behavior are simply too unique to ignore. What was it? A hoax? A prank? Or a real Bigfoot encounter? So, what do you think? Is Bigfoot real? Or are all these sightings nothing more than a series of misunderstandings, hoaxes, or natural phenomena? The evidence is piling up, and it's more compelling than ever before. But the truth remains elusive. Will we ever know for sure? Maybe one day we'll have the definitive proof. Until then, the mystery continues. And one thing is certain, Bigfoot has not been forgotten.